Hey guys, welcome back to another video on strategic management, and we are doing the second chapter of strategic management for IPCC students. So in the last video we talked about strategic analysis. We started with strategic analysis, that is actually the external analysis plus the internal analysis. We studied till now that it is the analysis of the environment plus the organization. Let us understand this in detail. So it is particularly external analysis plus the internal analysis. What is there in the external analysis? External analysis involves customer analysis. मतलब कस्टमर को एनालाइज करेंगे कि कौन कौन से कस्टमर सेगमेंट्स को हमको टारगेट करना है, उनकी क्या क्या नीड्स है, क्या प्रेफरेंसेस है, क्या डिमांड्स है. देन व्हाट द कॉम्पिटिटर इज प्रोवाइडिंग देम, मतलब व्हाट इज द कॉम्पिटिटर स्ट्रैटेजी, व्हाट इज हिज प्रोडक्ट एटसेट्रा, व्हाट इज द साइज ऑफ द मार्केट, द प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी, द ग्रोथ or prospects, the entry barriers, etc. And finally the environmental analysis, which involves the technological, government, economic, cultural, demographic, international, etc. So this is particularly the external analysis, और मैं कह सकती हूँ ये environmental analysis है क्योंकि इसके अंदर we are considering both the internal as well as external environment, the micro as well as macro environment that we talked about in the previous video. Okay. Now let's talk about internal analysis. What is this internal analysis? It involves the analysis of the organization itself, about the organization, what is there in the organization, the capacities, the weaknesses, etc. So it tells us about the performance analysis, performance about the profitability, sales. हमारे statistics को हम read करेंगे कि हमारा क्या क्या प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी है, क्या सेल्स है, क्या कॉस्ट है, एटसेट्रा. विल डू द एनालिसिस अबाउट द ह्यूमन रिसोर्सेज, विल डू द डिटर्मिनेंट्स एनालिसिस अबाउट द स्ट्रैटेजीज, करंट एंड द पास्ट स्ट्रैटेजीज, financial resources, capability, etc. So by doing all these analysis, the external analysis will give us the opportunities and threats which are available to us. So these are the opportunities and the threats, strengths and uncertainties. And this internal analysis will give us the strength and weakness. पर्टिकुलरली ये स्ट्रेंथ और वीकनेस हमें बताएगा. फिर हम इन दोनों को मैच करके स्ट्रैटेजिक ऑल्टरनेटिव्स निकालेंगे कि हमारे पास क्या क्या ऑल्टरनेटिव हो सकते हैं. हम इस पर्टिकुलर मार्केट में जा सकते हैं, या फिर हम इस तरह का फंक्शनल स्ट्रक्चर को अडॉप्ट कर सकते हैं, या फिर हम इस पर्टिकुलर मार्केट में एक नया एंटरप्राइज स्टार्ट कर सकते हैं, वॉट एवर. एंड देन वी विल सेलेक्ट द बेस्ट स्ट्रैटेजी दैट एक्चुअली हेल्प्स अस टू मैच आवर opportunities, threats and strength and weakness. ओके, फिर ये स्ट्रैटेजी प्लान करने के बाद वी विल इम्प्लीमेंट द ऑपरेटिंग प्लान. फिर रिव्यू स्ट्रैटेजी, वही स्ट्रैटेजिक प्लानिंग का इम्प्लीमेंटेशन का पूरा स्टेज हम वापस से करेंगे. Okay, so this is what is strategic analysis. Strategic analysis is simply an external plus internal analysis in order to identify and select the best strategy suitable for the organization. So this is what is strategic analysis. Let us see. Now let's see the risk in the organization. तो organization में किस तरह के रिस्क होते हैं, ये बहुत सिंपल सा टॉपिक है. Let us understand in a little detail. आपने अभी तक तो ये समझा ही है कि higher the risk, higher will be the profits, or you might have done this way: the more the risk, more will be the profit, and less the risk, less will be the profit. And this is something which is actually that is applicable in all kinds of businesses. So इसमें हम बात कर रहे हैं internal as well as external risk and short term as well as long term risk. Risk क्या होता है? Risk actually it is the fear of failure, or the risk is particularly the chances of failing or chances of loss in the organization. तो internal या short term risk क्या हुआ? Internal risk ये हुआ, the internal risk will be related to organization itself, and external risk will be related to the environment. Okay, so by now you know that internal risk is something which is related to organization, and external risk is something which is related to environment. Okay, short term risk is something which is for a short duration of time, maybe 1 to 2 years, and long duration 1 to 2, 3, 4 years, and long term risk is actually more than 4 to 5 years, like it is having a long term impact in the organization. Internal risk ये हुआ जब organization capacity is not being able to cope up with the strategic demands. हमारी कोई भी strategic demand हुई और हम इतनी ज़्यादा capable नहीं है, maybe we do not have the particular human resource जो अभी हमारे पास होना चाहिए, जिसकी वजह से maybe एक technical person हमको चाहिए हमारी organization की, हमारे पास नहीं है, तो हमारा ये internal short term risk हो गया. जब हमारे पास ये HR person आ जाएगा तो दिस रिस्क विल बी रिमूव्ड. तो इट इज अ शॉर्ट टर्म रिस्क, है ना. देन कम्स एक्सटर्नल शॉर्ट टर्म रिस्क. क्या हुआ कि आपने एनवायरमेंट को आप इंटरप्रेट नहीं कर पाए. लाइक फॉर एग्जाम्पल, इन टूडेज टाइम इट इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू गो ऑनलाइन. It is very important to have access to internet so that you can actually expand your business, है ना. You can actually promote your business in the online space. So if you are not going online, if you are not interpreting the environment right now, then it may lead to strategic failure. So if you are not actually promoting your product or launching your product on the online spaces or social sites, then in that case it may actually lead to your strategic failure. But once you interpret this thing and you do steps in that regard, then this will be removed. So it is a short term external risk which is caused by the environment. Okay, अब आता है internal long term. क्या होता है? Inconsistencies with the strategy are developed on account of changes in the internal capacities. Internal capacities हमारी शिफ्ट हो गई, हमारा कल्चर है वो चेंज हो गया है, हमारी इंटरनल कैपेसिटीज चेंज हो गई है, एंड विच कैपेसिटीज विच हैज चेंज विच विल हैव लॉन्ग टर्म इम्पैक्ट. सो and these capacities are inconsistent. These are not consistent with your strategy. If these are not consistent with your strategy, it will lead to strategic failure. So it is an internal long term risk. Then comes external long term risk. That means environment has changed rapidly, which has led to obsolescence of strategy. आपने जो strategy implement की थी वो completely obsolete हो गई है because of the change in the environment. So it is external long term risk. Okay, this was about risk, simply that risk internal, external and short term and long term. So this was a simple concept about risk. Next is the methods of industry and competitive analysis, and we'll be doing the industry and competitive analysis in the next video. Till then, stay healthy and be happy.